Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your time to EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. We're making education your business here at AT23 Anthology 2023 at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel and Resort in Nashville. And we have recorded, I don't know how many episodes, but I know Erin is keeping us popping and locking and popping. I'm not sure which one, awesome. But she's organized us. I asked her. I even it looks like I might be a little dry of mouth, and there's a water on. It's amazing. She's just incredible. Where are we right now? Elvin Freitas, co-founder, of course, and producer.
AT.
We're at the AT studio, and we're recording here live. We've got this fine-looking gentleman in front of us. We're all, of course, on camera as well. Hello. Everyone.
Camera people.
We are the EdUp Experience podcast. This is an esteemed guest. Let me introduce him. We're going to get him right in. This is his third.
Is it third?
This is his third return. There are not many. I will tell you, there are not many three-time guests.
Wow.
So we're going to give him the intro he deserves. Ladies and gentlemen.
Get ready.
He's Chris Husser, VP Product Management and Anthology. Chris, what's going on?
I am excited. We're here in Nashville, Tennessee. AT23.
AT23. Get a little bit closer to that mic, or pull it to you. That's okay. We need to hear that voice. Podcast voice that you have.
That's right.
So some of the big news around AT23 is around intelligent experiences. And I remember intelligent experiences from last year, AT22. And I remember it also, I don't know, a couple times a month as I wear my Intelligent Experiences T-shirt that I have. And it looks like what's the thing? It looks like not a molecule. What's the thing?
Well, it's a little person.
The calendar. No, it's like what's the calendar?
Periodic table.
The periodic table looks like a element.
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for. It looks like an element. That's why I recognize the T-shirt. A lot's been going on. What catch us up? How have the intelligent experiences been going?
Yeah, well, the little I in intelligent, it's a person.
It's IX.
The dot and the line are connected.
Yes,
it's a little person, right? Because it's personalized,
yes.
Right? So it's been big.
You didn't know that because you don't have a T-shirt.
So subtle details.
Yes,
but I like that a lot.
No, it's exciting. So we announced that last year at the conference that was our vision, that was our direction, and here we are a year later. We've delivered on it. We've got some clients we're working with that are doing really awesome stuff in our products under this IX moniker. So we're excited to keep talking about that and kind of the new stuff that we're moving on to next.
Set back a little bit though, and tell us what the vision was for intelligent experiences. What's that overarching umbrella vision? And how is it becoming actualized? How do you measure it? How do you know? Is it feedback? Is it data? Talk a little bit about the vision and the expectations and reality.
Absolutely. So really the concept came from what Anthology itself is all about, right? We brought together these leading ed tech companies and we said, what are the problems we can solve that no other company, in education, higher education can solve because of, this unique ecosystem that we've got. I worked on campus for a long time before coming to the company. And one of the challenges that we always had was, we have plenty of data. There's data all over the place. We couldn't tell the story. We couldn't find the information, create the insights, that we wanted to figure out how to best support the students because the data's all over. It's siloed. It's not connected.
Tell it like it is.
Exactly. So we saw an opportunity because, great, well, we're this big company now that's got these different peak platforms. We've got the SIS, the LMS, the CRM, all these other solutions that help our campuses. How do we bring that together? We've got the data. Why can't we connect it for them? And so from that was the idea of, great, well, we can do that. What would you do with it? And so what we thought was, well, we can make products better. We can make experiences better. We can make the tasks that people have to do, whether it's admissions or alumni or teaching in the classroom, we can make those things more intelligent experiences.
I'm glad you remember how this goes because I asked you before the episode. I said, Chris, do you remember how this goes? And you said, I'm not sure I remember, but I want to remind you now.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
You're doing great so far.
Daddy.
So here we are, AT23. You're delivering on what you said. What are you announcing? What are you talking about? What are you unveiling here this year?
So on that IX kind of area that we're just discussing, we've been working on that over the past year. We've got two really exciting things that we announced, sort of debuted. One of those was, we asked ourselves, how can we help the learners? Not just help institutions, but help the learners directly. And one of the number one things we got from talking to traditional students, post-traditional students, It's about getting that job after graduation.
Yeah.
And so we
Nailed
talked
it.
about what are the challenges, what's hard about that. And it's, well, I know I'm going to take these classes, I'm going to get this major, but how do I then turn that into actually getting a job?
Yeah.
And of course, you can go to career services. There's lots of great resources on campus, but how do you spend your time outside the classroom, in ways that align to that career goal you have? How do you pick the right electives that help you even get further ahead? How do you, look for internships or co-ops or other things so there's a lot about the college journey that isn't obvious.
Yep.
And while, again, there's lots of great, advisors and other staff that can help you with that, what we thought what we could do is to make that easier for students. And so we've brought in kind of that connected ecosystem we just talked about. We've got skills in the course registration process, those same skills showing up in our Achievement Studio platform, where learners can track all these different things that they've been exposed to and see kind of comprehensively, how am I doing in that preparation for that career I want? What are the opportunities in the job market right now? What's the salaries, opportunities, all those things. That's the first experience we're bringing together. We've debuted. We've got campuses working with it. We've been showing that off here at the conference. A lot of excitement around it.
There was, because I will tell you, as you were talking, somebody was listening, and then
Got
they
super
turned
excited.
to listen to what you were saying, and they knocked down the whole wall behind you. Which, I mean, that's how exciting these
They
reveals
were
are. It's really,
pumped up, man.
yep. So feedback's really important, right? How do you get feedback from the clients? I would imagine you get a lot here.
That's right.
At conferences. You have Anthology is a worldwide organization, so the feedback's probably coming in pretty readily, and you get it all at once. Do you seek it, or does it come to you with something like Intelligent Experiences? Is it, I don't know, is it real time? Is it delayed? I mean, how is it that you stay up to date so that you're delivering?
Great question. It's both. It comes in real time. We seek it proactively. We've got this huge community of customers across the world, clients that all have lots of great ideas, and they have lots of problems that they want help solving. So we're never at any loss of that type of feedback. The other IX that we announced here at the conference that we've been working on since last year was connecting the data from the learning management system into our CRM, so that advisors would have an easier time seeing how are their students doing at the class or the course level. Right? Being able to follow up with them in terms of where are they falling behind, where they need more support. And that's a great example of where we got both, right? We went out and found campuses that were using, customers that were using those tools. We found and talked to people that were not using those tools, because at the end of the day, advising is advising. You've got these challenges, regardless of what platforms you're using. And so we were seeking input from everyone around, what makes it hard, what makes it easy. And generally what we found was it's the barriers of the data. It's the silos again, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're an advisor. Yeah, I can't get to that data at the end of the day. There's no way for me to sort of see, how my students are doing. So, that feedback was loud and clear, and we've solved it.
How common is that amongst higher ed institutions, even Anthology clients, where they're trying to iterate? But when you look at the higher ed system in general, I always say that, and I'll always say that I actually wrote about this. I said it has an assimilation culture in higher ed, where if you try to innovate too much or too fast, the structure itself can wear on your innovation, and you end up assimilating into a structure that already exists. It kind of sucks you in. So when you get to, and you put things out like this, or you announce these things, how do you ensure that those things don't stay siloed? Do you have people management? Do you have to go in with the product? Do you have to design the product so it's impossible to be siloed?
I think if we're doing our job right, then we're often bringing in these, again, let's talk about intelligent experiences. We're bringing those into places that you're already in the product. You're already trying to do these things. We've just figured out how to make it easier, more efficient, more effective, make it better, more intelligent. And so hopefully what that means is we're not, in fact, I think it's a valid challenge you're bringing up, and definitely something we see happen. But I think if we're smart about where we're putting these experiences, then they shouldn't be hard for campuses and individual users, faculty, staff to adopt. It's like, oh, I'm already in there trying to do this thing. There's just the easy button, all of a sudden now to help me do it.
Amazing.
We like easy buttons. So is this the end? You're done with innovating. You put out everything you can put. Right?
Yeah.
This is the end of the road?
Yeah,
You're done?
Yeah, this is the end.
You can retire?
Yeah, I wish.
Innovation done.
It'd be easy then. Yeah, that's the
Celebration
easy button I
begun.
need. No, this is right. We're saying this over and over again. It's scratching the surface. Right?
Yeah.
There's such a journey ahead of us, I think, around this concept. It clearly has resonation with our clients. They like what they're seeing. They're giving us great feedback. We're going to keep going. We've got a lot more problems that we can solve for customers.
Think about that, though, like what you're saying. you could look across all these people here, that if you put everybody on an AI or product understanding spectrum, you would just have people all over the place. We're going to depend on Chris Husser and Anthology to bring us along through AI, through intelligent experiences, through a user experience that is enhanced by AI. Do you think about that level of responsibility, or am I just putting it on you right now?
No pressure.
But I mean, think about that, because the general student services person dealing with students, not even thinking about something like this, you've got to bring us all along. And how do you do that in a way that we understand when you have somebody who's never used AI to, like me, a super AI user, right? Would you agree? I'm a super,
30 minutes
30 minutes a day on app. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you bring everybody along no matter where they fall on a spectrum?
The timing of IX as a concept was really interesting, because it really was something we started talking about before even the latest kind of big, explosion of all the topics and conversations that we're all having around artificial intelligence. But yet, now that it's here, it turns out it's kind of like, this is the same as IX, right? AI can be an accelerator for our concept and vision of IX. So we see it fitting in pretty seamlessly. And I hope it's invisible. If we're doing our job right, you don't know the AI is there. Now, the kind of challenge with that, the responsibility we have, though, is to, yes, maybe it's invisible to you as the user, but that we cannot lose sight of it, right? Appropriate use, ethical use, making sure it's, accounting for, kind of considerations with diversity and equity and other things that are the challenge areas for where artificial intelligence, unguarded, unmonitored, can run amok. And that's the kind of thing that, we're thinking about quite a bit. We've got a trustworthy AI framework that's guiding the work that we're doing. That's something that we're seeing a lot of, and we've been spending a lot of time working with our industry partners and other sort of security bodies around, how do we follow those best practices and kind of frameworks to make sure, right, that we're able to make it easy, keep giving you that easy button, give you that AI power, but without some of the pitfalls.
Well, and some people, when you talk AI,
what the heck is going on?
They just can't. They can't. I mean, it's too much. I mean, even if you are just experimenting with it, it's just incredible how many tools there are. It's just very hard to understand and how you operationalize it. That's the hardest part.
Right.
Okay, I know there's lots of AI. I know I could use it to make a picture or do this or ask it questions. How it would really help me in my job without replacing my job, because what happens to all of us. We go, oh no, I'm gonna lose my job.
Yep.
Chris Husser has developed intelligent experiences, and now, wait, I'm intelligent, but you don't need me anymore because AI is going to do it. That's not the case, right?
No.
Aren't you seeking to open up my time so that I can do what I'm supposed to be doing?
100%. Yeah, and I think we see that with a lot of technology innovation, in history, right? Is that it doesn't often, completely replace things; it evolves it, right? And we find, opportunities to specialize in that new thing. It creates new opportunities for people to do fundamentally often the same things they were doing, just again, better, faster, more efficiently, more effectively. So I think, again, if we're doing our jobs right, we're listening to our clients, we're solving the types of problems they need, then no, we're not taking people's jobs away by any stretch. We're actually helping them be more differentiated, right? Helping them personalize those experiences that they need for their students, so that they can be the best that they can be at the end of the day. Yes, sir.
It sounds like you're writing the next chapter of what student success is with intelligent experiences. That's kind of an exciting place to be.
Absolutely. And I think there's more to come. Next year, we're going to be taking it even further. I think there's a lot of people paying attention to what we're doing. A lot of people asking, how can we be part of this? How can we? So we've got some great partnerships going on that I think we'll be here next year probably talking about, that have helped us advance this movement, whether it's IX and the use of AI, or just generally, again, bringing that data ecosystem together to help our institutions. Got a lot of exciting stuff we'll be talking about.
Nice. What is the announcement at AT24 that you're going to tell me here live?
Prepare to be astonished.
Giving away the secrets, so you're going to put me on the spot. What I will tell you is this, which is that I think what you've seen this year, again, it's cliche, but scratches the surface. So I think next year, right, some of the stuff we're already thinking about that we're starting to see is possible. It's going to be more of what you've seen, but stuff that's really, I think what we showed, just the last 2 days is blowing people's socks off.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see that even better next year. It's awesome.
I've asked everybody that I've talked to about, as we're talking with Ray, and I talked with Nicholas just came on. how do you stay fresh and up to date in what's happening in AI, combined with higher ed, combined with technology and innovation? What do you do? What's the secret sauce, Chris? Tell me what's going on so I can stay up to date.
The secret sauce is, we've got tremendous people. We call them anthologists, people that work in anthology.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right. So we've got people that are just, coming from that higher education background or focused on serving higher education. They've got that deep intellectual curiosity about how we can, again, help our clients, help our customers, help them solve these problems, help them make their learners successful. And that drive, ultimately is what says, oh, here's a new piece of technology. What could we do with that? How could that, take this mission that we have as a company? How do we make that even better?
So if in that scenario, I'm just imagining all these people who work for you or around you going, Chris, I found this thing. Chris, I got this thing. Chris, I got this thing. And next thing you know, your whole day is filled up with like checking out these things. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to do what I was supposed to do. Is there a time management piece for you at this point?
If I had, that's what I want. That would be perfect, right? That would be, my dream. That's what we were doing all day long. No, you know what? Look, there's plenty of things that all organizations kind of have to focus on and get done or whatever. But, I think for us, having a real clarity of what we're trying to do in this market, our vision for bringing these systems together keeps us pretty focused, honestly, at the end of the day, on how we can continue to deliver value, to higher education. So I'm not worried about the time management. It's fun. It's what we love doing.
Well, you heard it from this gentleman. You heard it from him last year, Intelligent Experiences, delivering on what he said. Amazing work, Chris. Hearing great things. I've still got the T-shirt. I'm sorry, Alvin, that you do not have the Intelligent Experiences T-shirt. Chris, thanks for coming back again.
Thank you for having me.
Here live in the AT studio, ladies and gentlemen, he is Chris Husser, Vice President of Product Management at Anthology. You just EdUp'd.